For some days now, the internet has been on fire over this issue of US wanting to invade Nigeria to take out these terrorists that are claiming the lives of a lot of Christians. Because according to Donald Trump, in one of his tweets, he said that he has designated Nigeria as a country of concern. And a day after he tweeted this, he also tweeted that the Christian genocide in Nigeria is going to put an end to it, that they are going to intervene in the situation since the government of Nigeria is unable, or rather not willing, to do the needful to put a lasting end to the buying of Christians, or let's say generally Nigerians. So he's coming to take charge of the situation. And from what he said in his tweets, he says it's going to be vicious, it's going to be quick, and it's going to be sweet. He's going to take out the terrorist groups in Nigeria that are engaging in incessant buying of Nigerians. So now, this has brought about different opinions from Nigerians. Some have the opinion, some are even happy. Some are like me, for instance. I'm very happy. I see that as a welcome development, that it should come and intervene since the government are not willing or unable to put a lasting end to these killings, to this buying. So that is my own opinion, and I believe many Nigerians too are also of this opinion. While other Nigerians are of the opinion that USA does not have any right to interfere in the internal affair of Nigeria, that Nigeria can handle its affairs on our own, that wanting to invade Nigeria is like encroaching and trampling on the sovereignty of Nigeria, which is not true. Because now I will tell you that if, from my own analysis, from my own thoughts, those people that have the opinion that if USA should come and intervene in this situation, it will be as though we have lost our sovereignty to them. Those people, I would say they are wrong in their own school of thought, or rather in their own thinking, they are wrong. Because now, if a father feels in his duty to provide for his children or take care of them, their welfare and their well-being, and an outsider who is moved by the pathetic or pitiable condition of those children now takes it upon himself to do what the father or the parents of those children could not do for them, and now start taking care of them, providing for them, providing all their basic needs and every other thing for them, should we not cast aspersion on such a good Samaritan who has taken it upon himself to take care of those children who has been abandoned by their parents, or who the parents are not taken care of? So now, in that scenario I just gave to you, that is the case of Nigeria. The government, who are supposed to be the father of everyone, who are supposed to be the parent of this country, they are not doing anything for their citizens. They only remember about the people only during the time of campaign and election. That is the only time they remember about the people. That is the only time they remember that the people are useful to them. But outside election, the people are not, in fact, the people are never in the minds of these political leaders we have in Nigeria. These political leaders in Nigeria only see the people useful and relevant to them only when it comes to election, because they know that these are the people that they'll be needing their votes to retain power or to go back to that public office. But when they start hearing about the buying of these people who voted them into power, who surrendered their natural rights to them for them to be in power, when they start hearing that these people are being buyed on a daily, they do nothing about it. So for the US to have observed this for long and now say they want to intervene or want to help the government to put a lasting end to these killings, to this buying of Nigerians on a daily, even though the US is trying to make it on a one-way road, trying to narrow it down to the religious line, of which I am not in support of. I'm not in support of the fact that they are narrowing it down to Christianity or narrowing down to just a religious and a particular religious group being killed. I'm not in support of that, because that is more or less like trying to cause a religious war, of which I'm not in support of. But even at that, I can tell you for free from my own observation, I can tell you from what I've observed over the years, in as much as some people are trying to defend it, saying that it's not only Christians that are being killed, even Muslims too are being killed by these Islamic extremists or terrorists, even at that, I can tell you for free that from my own observation, if 10 people are being killed, are being killed in the north, 10, from among the 10, I can tell you for free that 7, if not 8, are Christians. Only 2 or 3 might be Muslims, depending on the community where the bandits or terrorists invaded or where they attacked. Now, if you look at it, in as much as these bandits, this Boko Haram, they have been attacking churches, attacking more and some mosques, but I will tell you that the number of religious places of worship that these bandits have attacked in the north and even some in the south, the number of religious worship centers that they have attacked, most of them are churches. Only very few are mosques. If you remember the case of the one that happened in Owo, that's outside the north, now coming to the southwest, Owo, yeah, in Ondo City, Owo, the one that happened in Owo, yeah, where they went to a Catholic church and tied a lot of members on a Sunday service. It was a Black Sunday. I can remember that not quite long, just some months ago. I think inside this year or late last year. Lots of lives were lost from that attack. I think even the priest was even quiet along. Abi was kidnapped. And you sit there to tell me that this is not Christian genocide? Even though we are saying this is not Christian genocide, but I can tell you for free from everything I've seen, partially it is, but let's not take it down to that lane so that it won't be as though it's a religious war. But to every, even this man, the man that brought about this awareness, that drew the attention of Donald Trump to what is really happening in Nigeria, this man, I think he's Reverend Ezekiel Dachum. Reverend Ezekiel Dachum. That was the man who knelt down. Many of you must have seen the video. He knelt down and was praying to God, crying, wailing and weeping over the mass burial that he came to give to some of his members. Many of his members were died by these bandits. Many of them. So he was now organizing a mass burial for his members. Imagine how heartbroken it is for you not to just be burying one, be burying multitude of people, and all of them are members of his church. So with this now, he was crying while he was on the grave and calling on the government, calling on Donald Trump. And so those things alone were part of the things that touched Donald Trump, and he had to take Nigeria as a country of concern. Remember, some years ago, he placed Nigeria as a country of particular concern. Then, after some time, it was removed. I think that was when Joe Biden came into power. But now, again, Donald Trump has placed Nigeria as a country of particular concern. That's CPC. Because going by that trending video of that man, that Reverend Ezekiel Dachum, which has gone viral and has been trending and even got to the table of President Donald Trump. So with that now, he has seen that indeed, even though killings, or even though the massacre, the killings and the buying of people in Nigeria are happening, but going by what this man has posted and going by the number of churches, because there was still a time this same man complained that his church and some churches around his neighborhood there in Plateau were set ablaze by these bandits, and the government of Nigeria did not respond to it. They set his church ablaze. The pictures were there to prove this. The government didn't react to it. He conducted mass burial for his members that were killed by these bandits. The government didn't respond to it. They even responded saying it was AI, what they call it. It was not true. The government are always looking for every way to deceive the citizens. Even when we are seeing this thing to be white, they will come and tell us, no, this is black. They're always looking for a way to deceive the populace. They're always looking for a way to deceive Nigerians. We'll be seeing that this thing is this. They'll be telling us, no, this is not, that you are saying is, no, this is not the way it really is. This is the way it is. Even when you are an eyewitness to that thing, they will still want to tell you that what your eyes saw was not true. That is the kind of politicians and political leaders we have. They are this mean. They are this wicked and self-centered. Let's say because their family members were not affected. So how would they know what we are going through as ordinary people in Nigeria? And you as a Nigerian defending this rubbish that Donald Trump should not come to intervene in this situation, that it to be as though he's trampling on our sovereignty as a state. What sovereignty are you talking about? What sovereignty are you talking about? Do you know that it is the responsibility of the government to defend and protect the territorial integrity of the country through the use of a well-equipped armed forces? And when there's now a failure on the part of the government to protect the territorial integrity of the country or the state, it means the government has failed and the sovereignty of that state has been tampered with. The territorial space of Nigeria is fast being taken over by Fulani headsmen, by bandits, by terrorists, and the government seems not to be moved. The government seems not to be concerned about it. They are only concerned about their presidential race, about 2027 election. These bandits are fast taking over almost every part in Auchi and different parts. Even they are spreading it across to other states now that have not yet been affected. So it's just like they want to take over the whole 36 states of Nigeria, and the government seem not to be moved by these things. The government seem not to be worried. They feel so unperturbed about all these things happening to the ordinary masses, because they and their family, they are well protected. The security apparatus that was supposed to be meant to protect the ordinary people are now being used to protect government officials. You see just a commissioner or a local government chairman carrying about 6, 7, 8 or 10 kilo security apparatus mixed with both soldiers, army, navy, witchcraft, all of them. Only one person, local government chairman. Not the one that governor carries, not the one the president carries. Have you seen the presidential entourage before? Only one man is being guided by battalions of security operatives. If you remove those people guiding these government officials now from wherever division or whatsoever this thing they got them from. If you remove them from that place, how many people do we now have getting the ordinary population? The population of people who are not in power are more than those in power. But the people that the security personnel or security apparatus that are assigned to protect and guide these few that are in power are more than the ones guiding us. And even from the ones guiding us, that's where you see find some that are actually abusing the fundamental human rights of citizens. Different things are happening, and the government turned blind eyes to it. Imagine even when Buhari was there, before the NSAS of 18 started, Nigerians were already calling out the government to do the needful and scrap at SARS. Did they do so? No. Until Nigerian youths now decided to take the bull by the horn, to do the needful by themselves. And when the government now saw that, these youths are not joking about this whole thing, that was when they now had to say, okay, yes, we have disbanded SARS. Do you know, before that 2020, do you know how many times SARS was disbanded? In different years before that 2020, they have disbanded SARS like multiple times, and yet it's just like it's never actually disbanded. It's just like they are the thing that they are calling disbandment is not actually reality. It's just like they say it, but in reality they don't do it. So the Nigerian people are suffering, and even China. I heard China has already issued a counter threat, or rather, China has warned US not to interfere in the internal affairs of Nigeria. That Nigeria is a sovereign state, and by threatening Nigeria that they want to intervene in the security issues of Nigeria, that will mean that they are interfering with the sovereignty of Nigeria. And many of us, or rather many Nigerians that didn't even want US to interfere before, many Nigerians that didn't even want US to interfere or invade Nigeria, many of them are applauding China for this bold front that they have put up for Nigeria, for standing on the side of Nigeria, for supporting Nigeria. Many people are applauding China. The China you're applauding, China is not even a good country of its own. China is still on their own, they're still bad. China on their own, they are still bad. They don't have any clear intentions towards you people. Una use una tongue, can't una teeth. Even the Chinese, you haven't praising, you're applauding that, yes, at least thank God on that world power has already challenged USA. So it's not like power torso, power jump power. That one, none of they happy for now. Say thank God, China they on our side, no level, all those things. Do you know that when the China you are praising, China, that money one that they owe China, not make China won't make anybody come touch now. It just be like some of all these skits when they see sometimes when they say you see person when they owe you money, one cross with them, yeah, you go through and come back. See, you walk through before you cross now. Remember, say they owe me you. I know I mean I can't hear anything happen to you. That is what China exactly what China is trying to do. That's just the case. China don't want me any country can disturb us because then no see they get within them the benefit from Nigeria and see Nigeria they highly indebted to them. You know how much Nigeria they owe China? Do you know the debts that Nigeria is owing China like currently? Every now and then, you know money when Nigeria they borrow, Nigerian government they borrow from China. So if USA can intervene, they want to get their money back. China want to get their money back. So China is only there. It's not as if they want to actually support Nigeria. Because if you observe it, ever since this buying of Christians and Muslims or Nigerians in general has been happening, China has never actually looked for a solution or provide a solution to Nigeria with the high level of technology that China has as a well-developed state like China, and who is like a close ally to Nigeria. They are supposed to have provide good solutions to Nigeria on how they can put a lasting end to terrorism. But they don't so. No. But all of a sudden now, people want to say they want to come help us. Now US they want to come help us take out these terrorists, and now you have China trying to play the good man, trying to say they're on our side. How? They say friend, when you see your mouth, this may then be your friend. China has been seeing what has been going on here. How people are being killed are being killed on a daily. They're not talk since. No statement was being released by the Chinese government. Nothing. And now USA that now took it upon themselves to actually say they want to come and fight this terrorism in Nigeria and take out these people who are giving us sleepless nights, who are making us feel unsafe in our country. It is not the USA that you are now against. I saw Asari Tokumbo's issuance of threats, counter threats back to Donald Trump saying he should not come to Nigeria if he does this, if he does that. Like all those things, they are noise. I see it as noise because you as an individual and your squad that you may have as a person, as an individual, cannot be able to fight a country as developed as USA. You cannot be able to fight them. You cannot even be able to fight even Nigeria. Say Nigerian soldiers even come fight you as Ari Tokumbo. You cannot even withstand them, let alone withstanding the US as a nuclear state. So please, I will advise that issuance of threats or counter threats should be withdrawn by Asari Tokumbo, who I see as another statement. That's why I never expected, not be everything best they react to. I never expected him to even react to this because that's one person I so much respect. But I think that video was not needed. It was not really worth it because, truth be told, if you claim to be able to fight the USA. If they try to step into their foot or their boots into Nigerian soil, that you're going to do this, you're going to do that to them, all those things you are saying. If you can do those things like you claim, why can't you use those power that you have? Why can't you use it to fight against these insurgents, these terrorists, these bandits that have been buying people all over the country ever since? Why can't you deploy your men or whosoever that you have, your weapons and anything you have? Why can't you use to go into the forest and into these communities that are being held hostage by these bandits? There are some communities in the north that years ago or months ago, we hear that even people in the communities will pay. They pay to the bandits, they pay tax to the bandits to continue to live. They pay tax to the bandits to avoid attack from the bandits. This same country we are in, you hear government going to negotiate with bandits. Government officials negotiating with bandits, eating rice and chicken with them and drinking beer. Then you now believe that other countries of the world are not watching? You think that they are fools? Negotiating. People that you are supposed to be trying to take out, you are now trying to negotiate with them. This negotiation has been on for long. Even during time of Goodluck Jonathan, he actually did a lot of negotiations with the bandits. Federal government negotiating with bandits, and yet it did not put an end to the crime. It did not put an end to security challenges in Nigeria, despite the negotiation. That is why I believe that a man like Sheikh Gumi by now is supposed to be rotting in prison, supposed to be in jail, because every now and then he keeps on advocating for these terrorists. Go and check many of his media interview where he has granted some of the members of the press an interview in some of the TV stations. Go and check once, you see everything. He's always advocating for them. In one of the videos I watched, he was even saying that these bandits are now much better. They are no longer going to invade communities again to go and buy people, that they are just only adopting children. And when they adopt the children, they ask for ransom. So they are not being humanistic. They are not having this human feeling in them. That instead of entering communities to go and buy people, that now they are no longer doing that. They are rather adopting children, which to him he sees as a lesser evil. Even recently, one of the posts I saw, he was even saying that US coming to bomb these terrorists in Nigeria is not an ideal way of handling this. That's rather they should negotiate with these bandits and these terrorists. That they should negotiate with the bandits that are coming to bomb the terrorists will worsen the situation. That it will be better that they negotiate with them. How long are we going to continue to negotiate with bandits? How long? Every now and then, kidnapping and different things are happening in Nigeria. Many of you that are saying that US should not come and intervene or should not come and invade Nigeria because of the sovereignty which you are saying we have, which to me, I think even the bandits and the terrorists, the way they are taking over the territory of Nigeria, sorry to say, we have lost the sovereignty to them already. So I don't think there's anything we are protecting our sovereignty anymore. So USA coming to take out these terrorists that have already taken over your sovereignty from you, because taking over the territory from the government, the way they are operating in different communities and villages in the north, that one already shows that the government has lost internal sovereignty and external sovereignty to these bandits. So that one already, so there's no sovereignty in USA or any country is coming to take. They are only coming to even help us. I see it as something that they are coming to rescue us from these enemies that we have. Now are the enemies, these bandits, these terrorists, they are coming to rescue us from them and even restore to us back our sovereignty. And I know nothing goes for nothing. In as much as they are coming to render any assistance, certainly they also have their own hidden agenda. They also have their own ulterior motive, just like even China too has their own ulterior motive. So for China to be saying US, don't come on this one, all those ones, China has their own ulterior motive. So don't sit down and start looking at all these things from a very, very shallow way. You have to look at it deeply. Because a very serious issue be this one. Very serious one. Very serious one. The government should act fast. It should act fast. Donald Trump is not saying he's coming now. He's not saying they come tomorrow, they come next tomorrow. He's even saying the government should move fast. So it's when the government, he has sat down and watched that the government is still not doing anything about it, that there is now one increased case of terrorism or buying of people in the north or any part of Nigeria. That is when he would now say, okay, I've given time to watch what's happening and to see whether this government will act responsibly. But since they are not doing anything about it, then let's move in. That is it. So the government still has time. So rather than the government to be reactive to this, I want them to be proactive. I expect them to be proactive, not trying to defend nonsense. Defend the fact that Christians are not being killed, that there's no Christian genocide. Even if you are saying there's no Christian genocide, but there is actually buying of people going on in the country on a daily basis. And this is a country that is not at war, but yet people die. People are being buyed in Nigeria more than those countries that are experiencing war. And this one, not be said with the fights and shadows. These are people that live among us. Because for the government to call for negotiation and all of them came, all the bandits came with all their bullets and everything, they all deal with their everything fully active in case of anything. So maybe the talk goes out and maybe May they know they want to defend. So all those ones, these are not people. Many of them don't wear masks when they came for that meeting. They show their face, say, man, yes. Some of them were even putting on camouflages during the negotiation meeting. And now you stand there and tell me that, listen, why some of them, I even saw a post from one of the government officials, I can't remember at present, said the US should rather collaborate with the Nigerian army to fight against terrorism. No, 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 no. That's, to me, that is not allowed. That's not a welcome idea at all. Because during the time that Chibok girls were kidnapped, that was during the time of who was the US president then, Obama, and in Nigeria it was Goodluck Jonathan. US sent some of their marine and special force to collaborate with the Nigerian army to get the Chibok girls back, to bring back Chibok girls, and to fight against terrorism. Do you know that the same US soldiers or special force or marine soldiers that came to collaborate with Nigerian soldiers to fight against the terrorists and bring back the girls, do you know that at a point in time they got frustrated and went back? Are you aware? They were frustrated because some of the things they found out. They found out that among the security agencies that there were some persons that were leaking information, that were leaking intels to the bandits on how and when they are going to operate. So with this, they had to just leave Nigeria and allow us to swallow our bitter medicine by ourselves. They just left everything for us and say, job like anyone I want to save. They went back to US. So because of this one, they don't trust us. That country called US, they don't trust us. They don't trust us enough to bring their army to collaborate or do a joint effort to fight against terrorism. No, they want to do it independently. Because they don't see and say the last time when they do that collaborative effort, it not yield any good results. From their findings, they discovered that so many things are not right, and because of that one, now they come over. They want to do it independently so that they can take out all these bandits without any sentiments attached to it. So for me, I'm of the opinion that the government should do the needful now that it's still early. It's never too late than never. It's never too late to act. The government should act wise. Forget 2027 election first and focus on the primary responsibility. Work you not provide electricity. Now the same you don't say if you not provide constant electricity for us 2027 or the next your second term they not vote you. That was what you using to campaign in 2023. If you're unable to provide constant power to Nigeria, that they should not vote you for second term. That was what you said. Now there's no constant power in Nigeria. People are suffering. Country is not moving well. Things are not going well in Nigeria. Things are not going well. So please, I'm calling on the government. Please, people should act fast. Act fast. Make hay while the sun shines. Please, people should do the needful now. This is a wake-up call to the government that they should do the needful. They should put their ass in order. All the NIN and all the stress they made us go through, link your SIM to your NIN and all these different things to be able to have database and this one of citizens and all those things. All those things, I was thinking that it will help. From what they said, they are going to use to reduce. They are going to use to keep track of activities of the citizens to reduce the rate of all this kidnapping and all these things, that they can be able to track any of their adopted persons. But funny enough, even after the NIN wahala and the linking of SIM to NIN, after everything, there is no meaningful achievements, no meaningful improvements to this so-called act of technology that you have devised. What was not the NIN for? When the NIN and even the SIM card, linking your SIM card to NIN, what all this is now for? When the security agencies cannot use this as an advantage to be able to track those people that has been adopted. Imagine they will adopt some persons, all these bandits adopt some persons, use phone to reach out to the family to send ransom, and yet that phone number that was used to reach out to them, yet they cannot be able to use that number to track down those criminal elements, those adopters. They cannot be able to use that same number to track them. So what is not the essence of the NIN and the linking of the SIM card that we all were meant to go through pains then to get our own done? So many things blocked them because of them not wanting to link their NIN to their SIM card. What were all these sufferings for? Were they worth it? So please, the government should put its ass in order and bring a lasting solution to this. The former chief of defense staff, Musa Christopher, said they have been able to get some names of those sponsoring these bandits. And they asked him on national TV that he should give them the names, that he should mention some of the people so that they can be seriously dealt with. But funny enough, he said that they are yet to conclude with the names, they are yet to do this, excuse upon excuses. The government already know the names of the people that are sponsoring these bandits. But why they are yet to release the list is what I don't know. For me, I believe it is because some of the people sponsoring these bandits, these terrorists, are from among those in government. They are within the government. They are within the security agencies. And I believe that is the reason why they are scared to release the names of these people. So please, the government, please, why you are complaining that US has no right to do this, to issue trade, all those things, why you are doing all those things, leave the reactional part first, do the needful. Remember, just underline that part in that tweet of Donald Trump, which said the government of Nigeria should move fast, tackle this insecurity head on. We should be using those money allocated to security vote to be doing other things. Not every now and then allocating billions of naira for security votes, and we're not seeing the impact, the positive impact of it. Rather, it's even the negative impact we are seeing. So please do well to like this video, share this video to your friends and family members so that they will all be aware of what is happening. And I will also be attaching the video of the man who drew Donald Trump's attention to this very matter. I'll be attaching his video at the end of this my video. I'll be attaching the video of Reverend Ezekiel Dachum of Plateau State, the Elijah of our time, the outspoken man, the man that was able to speak in the face of fear, in the face of persecution. He stood up while our pastors that have millions of congregation, the biggest auditorium in the world. There are pastors here, they have the biggest auditorium in the world, in Nigeria. Big pastors that have millions of people as congregation, as members, and yet none of them has made any comments as regards this. None of them has been so bold to tell the government what is happening. Possibly because it's not really happening to them. Because this man, the church he has is not a very large auditorium that he has, and it's someone that is very much concerned about the welfare of his members. But those other big churches, I don't really know what to say, but they're not really doing much. I remember during the time of Goodluck Jonathan, Pastor Adeboye was one of the persons that protested against the incessant killings or incessant dying of people or Christians in the north. But now that his brother is in power, that a fellow Yoruba man like him is in power, he has kept mute. Bishop Oyedepo and other top Deeper Life Pastor Kumi, all of them, they have all kept mute concerning these things that is taking the lives of their members. Because believe it or believe it, you cannot tell me as large as those congregations that some of them are not being affected by this insecurity. It's not possible. But just that the congregation is too large that many times these big pastors might not even know their members, let alone knowing the ones that were affected. So I believe that is the reason why they are not reacting to many of these things, these security challenges that we are having in Nigeria. But God will help us. So please do well to like, share, and drop your comments about what you think concerning this issuance of threat by Donald Trump to invade Nigeria. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I'll be dropping more reactional videos and my own fair commentary on what I think concerning any issue on ground, both political, religious, social, and all. Thank you and God bless.
We are tired to be outside performing burial every day, and they expect us to silence. Now it's an order. Nigerian government came out openly and denied there is no massacre, there is no genocide of Christians in Nigeria. And look at it today. Is there any Muslim here? No. United Nations, I know you're watching me. American Senate, you are watching what I'm doing, I'm saying here. Special advisor to Trump. Now, please tell Trump to save our life in Nigeria. They are killing Christians in Nigeria, massacre Christians. If they say they kill Muslims, Muslims are being killed. By who? By Muslims. I'm in bitterness. Yesterday, they gathered at Sector 4. Dagom Ray of Fan was there. Dagom Ray of Riom, of Rock was there. The Fulani Hardos was there. And the Mieti Allah was there. I wasn't invited. Somebody rushed to my house and said, please, there is something that is happening. I expected to see Dagom Ray of Haipan. He was not invited at the sector. The same thing I was surprised. What I said yesterday, not knowing that I will see it today.